I'm a meaningless namey, and this is my review of Revue Starlight ReLive. If you liked the anime Revue Starlight and want to see pretty much the same thing it did but in game form, you'll be sorely disappointed, and I don't know what you were hoping for. 0 out of 10. Now, it has other things that are good about it, but if you liked the careful, immaculate story presentation and character studies of the show, or just even the good soundtrack, it's not there. The soundtrack in the game, its original soundtrack, is extremely unremarkable. It has clips of the good songs from Revue Starlight, but they're not used well. But let's talk about what Starlight does well. By far the biggest plus is that it has an actual online versus mode where you're playing against another player, not just a computer controlling the other player's team. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost any stamina or anything to play the versus mode, and it has actual ranking systems. You win, you go up in rank. You lose, you go down in rank. And that part works really well and is definitely the highlight of the game. You can even search for specific players or to play against your friends, or if someone wanted to organize like their own tournament outside of the game, you could do that. And I really wish more games would have some features like that compared to like Fire Emblem Heroes. But Fire Emblem Heroes does have one thing that's way better than Starlight and most other mobile games, and that is its skill inheritance, which lets you actually customize units to do a whole bunch of different things in a way you choose. In Starlight, you really don't have that option. You have your unit, and you have an item that you can equip to it, and that's all your customization. So I hope you get some good gacha rolls, because as the game stands right now, there is not much you can do for creativity in team building. Other than that, I have a lot of nitpicks about the game, but it's just not super interesting one way or the other. The combat itself is overly complicated in some ways, and really boring in others. Out of the 30 or so units I have currently, only one of them has a normal attack that will hit anything other than the front unit of the enemy formation. They'll probably add more such skills in the future, but right now, my entire game plan is pretty much has to be attack the front unit with the powerful attacks, build up climax, and then I can attack everyone at once. I really don't feel there's a huge amount of strategic depth in this game currently. It could be added in the future, but I don't know if I'll stick around to see that future, because there's just not really any aspects of this game that make me particularly care about it. That's really all I have to say. I mean, it's a freemium mobile game. If you want to check it out, you can. I guess one last thing would be, how does it handle what story it does have? I mean, it handles it as well as it could, I guess. There's 15 new characters from 3 other schools that they add into the story, and they're okay, but nothing amazing. And the story itself is pretty much an excuse to have a bunch of fights. The fights against the girls from the other schools make sense. The show was already about the characters fighting in a musical tournament thing, so expanding that way makes sense, but to pad out those battles, you have hundreds and hundreds of battles against generic shadow enemy things. There's not much interesting about them. And that's all.